Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Arista networks, and on this chart we are tracking from the all-time low, here a 1-2 setup, and now we are looking for the third wave to the upside to develop in this area, and in this case we can mark this as a 1 and a 2, and we can look for this wave 3 to the upside to reach the ideal target in such a structure at the 138.2% extension, which actually was already achieved. So as the next target for this development in the wave 3 to the upside, I am looking at the 161.8% extension, the $194 level. But honestly, if I am to actually track this movement to the upside as a wave 3, I would expect much further developments than even that, because yeah, in this case I would consider this is a 1-2 setup, and the ideal target for the internal wave 3 in this case, still the 138.2% extension, which was reached, but I'm not necessarily convinced that even this internal structure is complete, so we may get an extension still within this structure, and then we need still a 4-5 pattern to complete this large wave 3 to the upside. So yeah, still a lot of potential here on this chart, but only if it manages to develop here as an impulse to the upside. Now within this structure, within this internal wave 3, I am considering here on the shorter time frame possibly something like a 1-2, maybe even another 1-2 in the short time frame, then another 1-2 setup. So a triple 1-2 setup in this area could be possible, and then this would be a larger third wave to the upside. But I'm not even convinced that even this structure is actually yet complete. And in that case, I would like to track this internal fifth wave, this last push to the upside in this area. And the way that I am tracking it as an impulse, it is not necessarily the cleanest structure within an impulse in this area. I don't have a very clear internal wave 3, but I am tracking it as a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, and in this case we can see that we actually maxed out the support zone for a correction here in a wave 4, the 50% retracement, right? And yeah, if I use any other count, we would have actually failed to hold it, and probably would be tracking a diagonal structure overall to the upside in this area, where it could be something like an ABC movement to the upside, but yeah, could in the end really be something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th that we could be tracking within a larger wave C. So we may still develop the larger structure, and in that case, even in that case, we may still need a 4th and the 5th to complete the internal wave 3. But in that case, after we complete the wave C, we could see quite a sharp decline to the downside in a correction for maybe a larger wave 1 to the upside. But yeah, it would be a very high risk area in my opinion if we develop this within a wave C to the upside instead of a third wave up. Now, as I was mentioning, we are focusing internally in this area, and within it we have here something like 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, and we are focusing on this 5th wave to the upside, where I can say that we probably are developing something like a 1, 2, 1, 2. This could work out. Then this would be a third wave up, and now if we manage indeed to form an impulse within this wave 3, we would still need a couple of 4-5, 4-5 patterns to create a clear impulse even within this wave 5. But it is possible for this fifth wave to the upside to develop as a diagonal structure, as an ending diagonal, and in that case we would really need only a singular 4-5 pattern. But I would be tracking the same internal structure here as the wave 3, so nothing would change really in that aspect, and in that case I would either be looking at the support zone for wave 3 in an impulse, which can allow a correction from the $139 level all the way down to the $117 level, and if we allow it to develop as a diagonal structure within the wave 5 to the upside, I can extend the area of support all the way down to the $108 level at the 61.8% retracement. Now, if that fails, we will most likely be tracking the other scenario, the wave C developing in this area. One of the other scenarios, there are a couple, but we need more evidence to have more clarity on what it is, and at the moment it doesn't matter because we may still develop an impulse in this area, and yeah, as long as this support zone holds and we create at least one more high, we can allow for such a pattern to work out. But if this support zone fails, we may still look for an extension within this pattern to the upside in something like an ABC movement to the upside. Probably not something, I suppose, no, not much else is possible really. And yeah, in that case we may still track one more high to the upside, but it would not be within the impulse and it would not be within the reliable structure that we wish to actually see in this area. And we would have a support zone that would allow for a deeper retracement between the $111 level all the way down to the $74 level, but this is not a high probability area necessarily, except that from a larger time frame perspective, if I consider that this fifth wave is complete, and yet we have this wave 3, something like an ABC pattern to the upside, we could have this entire third wave complete, and in that case we would be looking for a much deeper correction possible. Yeah, in the area, let's see, let's use the yellow interpretation for this, between the $84 level all the way down to the $28.7 level. So this could be an area of risk. Breaking the $108 level would decline the reliability of this chart extremely heavily, to the point that yeah, I would be focusing probably on this larger support zone that could result in, yeah, from this point a drop of 80%, somewhere around that area. So yeah, I would be very careful, extremely careful on this 61.8% retracement. And if we manage to create this fourth and fifth to the upside, we need at least one to have the impulse complete. We can track afterwards a 1, 2, 3. So the third wave will be complete, the internal wave 3 of the internal wave 3 of the larger wave 3. And then we will have another opportunity for an additional fourth and the fifth wave to the upside to complete, yeah, this larger structure. And yeah, we will continue to track this impulse to the upside, and we will probably reach quite high targets within the larger structure in the wave 3, maybe even the 200% extension, very plausible in that scenario. But for that we need to hold the $108 level. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.